We need to talk to Eagle fans about a few things. And I think one thing is, do Eagle fans have trust in Jalen Hurts with a pretty pathetic offense right now? Because a lot of Eagle fans are calling for Jalen Hurts' head and replacing him with Tanner McKee to be throwing him into these games. We're going to be talking about obviously what happened on Thursday, and we're going to be talking about some of the players' mixed messages when it comes to blaming themselves and obviously blaming this coaching staff for what's going on. And Minnesota is licking their chops right now because this is almost the end, and they have a very short time to fix this. So let's get straight into it all.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope it's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone is doing well. So a lot to discuss here. So it's been a pretty depressing couple days for the Philadelphia Eagles, getting just destroyed by the New York Giants on Thursday night. Now, a few things to really go over here, okay? Now, you have players that kind of had their press conferences. I mean, there's a lot of different looks on how these players are taking it, like Saquon Barkley and some of these other guys are kind of blaming themselves for execution. Jalen Hurts is almost doing the same thing, but it looks like one other player for the Philadelphia Eagles is not blaming himself for much of anything. Okay. And Lane Johnson has some things to say. Now, Lane Johnson has some things to discuss regarding the run game for the Philadelphia Eagles. He says, I don't know if we're predictable, but it seems like a lot harder than it needs to be. Maybe moving forward, we start looking for more variety, hitting the perimeter, some doing a little bit more of that. You can game plan all you want, but when you get into the game, it's about making those adjustments from the sideline. You can game plan all you want, but we have to make adjustments and we have to play better. We're not efficient in any phase. And I've talked about this a million times. I'm glad Lane Johnson said it. I mean, this was rubbed right in Kevin Patullo's face or Nick Sirianni's face, okay? When you're only look, and this is a video I saw literally the other day, okay? Because I'm not XO-esque, I know formations and things like that, but I don't know how much they run of this and how much they run of that. But you can kind of tell just by looking at the game with your own two eyes. And from the run game, they only ran from two formations. Two, not three, not five, not 10. They ran from two formations on Thursday night. That is it. That is your run game. That is the 2 hours of sleep that Patullo got preparing for this game on Thursday night. Your offensive line is hurt because of it. Your offense is vulnerable to injuries because of the get-off the defense has of how predictable this offense is. The more predictable your offense looks, that defense is going to get a nice get-off, and then your offense is going to be vulnerable to all of that stuff. Hence why Landon Dickerson was out, and Brett Toth was getting thrown around all damn game. And Jordan Mailata had a really bad game. They had some bad games, and I don't believe that Jurgens is healthy right now. I don't believe he is healthy. I think there's more to the story than that. Running these, Burns was getting in the backfield, running these stunts on Brett Toth because Toth is not good. We all know this. I'm glad somebody said it. I mean, you're running four tush pushes. Four tush pushes. I mean, look, I love the play, but you have to use it four times. Besides the Frankie Louvu, what happened in the NFC Championship game, that was funny. Okay, that's just being funny. But realistically, four tush pushes to score a touchdown is actually pretty damn embarrassing because it just shows laziness in this fucking OC and what he really can't do. And on top of all that, remember that big private meeting that supposedly happened early in the week between Hurts, Saquon, and, A.J. Brown? I mean, A.J. Brown at the press conference after the game, and he wouldn't really answer anything. He goes home. He tweets out that nothing happened. There wasn't a sit down. There wasn't a meeting. It just seemed like Saquon, I guess A.J. was walking to his car and kind of met up with them for like not even a minute and then drove home. That was the meeting. There was no sit down. There was no get together. There was no let's try to fix things. There was none of that. So that's a little concerning that now these players are kind of separate right now and they're just dealing with things their own way. They're not using this dialogue together to kind of make sure keeping the roster above water and making sure that nobody's quitting on this team. I mean, hearing that was just really shitty. Of course, Jalen Hurts fucked up in this game tremendously. We all know this. He missed some wide open targets. Yeah, the one that he threw to flop, the pick on the left sideline when he was staring, fifth-year quarterback staring at Jahan Dotson the entire way. Pick right there on the sideline. A.J. Brown wide open in the end zone. The Devontae Smith 89-yard touchdown. That was supposed to be 89 yards that he couldn't get. Overthrew that ball. Walk-in touchdown to Devontae Smith. And thank you to the special teams. Why the Eagles gave up 2 late-round picks for Tank Bigsby, we'll never know. Originally, I thought Tank Bigsby was supposed to be the backup to Saquon because Shipley was supposed to be out like 6 to 12 weeks. With the ribs, that was the report. He was going to be out a lot longer. He came back literally in a week and a half, 2 weeks, and Bigsby has just been a kick returner, and a shitty one at that. And when they got desperate so badly, they had to put A.J. Dillon down there. I mean, you have nobody else. How about that Gibson guy you signed from the Jets? How about somebody for kick returns? Nobody can kick return. Everybody is literally fumbling every damn kick return. And this offense, on top of bad play calling, bad quarterback play, and bad execution by everybody else, we can't even move the ball, period. For people to say that Hurts should be benched, I mean, look, like, Hurts being benched is not going to fix the problem. The Eagles going out and trading for a top edge rusher or trading for a top cornerback to be the CB2 across from Quinyon is not going to make this team better because the coaching still sucks. Let's just say, for heaven's sake, let's just say out of nowhere, McKee is the starting quarterback and they bench Jalen Hurts because we know that's probably going to fix the problem, right? You put McKee into a game, it's probably not going to look bad. It'll probably look pretty good because realistically, he's got no pressure on him. When you're going through what you're going through with this offense mentally for the past 6 weeks, okay, and you go into this game against the New York Giants, you're mentally flawed. You are mentally flawed to a point of there's just so much wrong with this offense that mentally there's just something wrong with Hurts like everybody else, and he fucked up. He has been fucking up on a few plays as of right now. He has been doing it, but that doesn't call for his benching. I mean, I take the coaching staff for the position they're putting these players in, and trust me, the first half to that Rams game, I forgot what half it was, but how fluid the offense was, and Hurts was hitting everything in that game. Everything. Not even being inaccurate. He was hitting every damn pass. Drop back after drop back after drop back, and not throwing the ball out of bounds, and he would rather take the sack, which is another thing I really don't like from him. Or when he scrambles upfield, he's not even trying to get extra yards. Like, he would rather slide before the first down marker. Oh, I'll just take the third and short just because I know we're going to get it. But there's nothing promising about getting that because that's what I'm always worried about. Even though you want to slide early, it doesn't guarantee you're going to make that play. Now we're going to talk about the sponsor of this video, ProfitX. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of a sports book versus the house. You will almost always get the best price on any spread, money line, total, and player props since you're playing against other people rather than the book. Every touchdown, every moment creates a live market you control. Buy in when you're confident, cash out when the momentum flips. It's like trading stocks, but for sports. Profit Exchange runs over 40 states, and you must be at legal age to do so. This isn't your old sportsbook. This is the #1 sportsbook. The action moves fast, and so can you. Real-time, player-driven, and built for fans who see the game before it happens. So let's dive into the ProfitX market on the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, the Eagles are sitting at plus 700 to win the Super Bowl, and yes, we're talking about this after one game. So the real question is, do you believe in Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, and this revamped defense enough to go all in at plus 700 and stay right there, or do I go a little bit further than that? I think I'm going to stay, and I think I'm going to let the #1 sportsbook and ProfitX take care of the rest for me to help me make the better decision. Use promo code SHAKE72. You can get up to $200 cash back over your first 30 days. Every play you make, ProfitX gives you money back for playing on their platform, up to $200. Link in the description. Make sure you go to your app store and download the ProfitX app and Use that promo code SHAKES72. I want to thank ProfitX for sponsoring this piece of content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Go Birds. So there's problems all over the place, but it's more of a coaching problem than it is a roster problem. And the roster is going to disintegrate over time if this is what's going to happen every single week, because I think it's already over, because the Eagles are not making any changes. And I hope they humble me. I hope that they change my mind on maybe there's something else. I'm not giving up on this team. I'm just being flat out honest that I think it's done. I think it's over. I think they've checked out. And how do they get back on track? It's gonna be massive changes that's gonna cause way too much time. It's too much time that's gonna take up to really make this right. If it wasn't for this defense the last 5 weeks, this team would be 0-6 right now. Realistically, this defense, Vic Fangio, has saved the Philadelphia Eagles season almost, and has kept them above the surface. Even at 4-2, you're above the surface right now. And I don't even think Vic Fangio played a really good game or coached a good game the other day. And understand, you're losing Quinyon, you're losing Carter. I mean, you're losing your 2 top players on your defense. Yeah. But man, they checked out. And when you mentally check out on this defense, that's when I get worried, especially under Fangio. These players are actually checking out mentally. That's just insane. That is like 2023 all over again in a nutshell. At least I didn't think it was comparable to 23, because the defense was always going to be on its feet and it was always going to keep the offense in games. But we know for a fact that this defense can't support the offense every single game. The offense has got to help the defense out once in a while. Look what happens. You got injuries on your defense. The offense has got to get more pressure on them, and they got to start scoring points and doing some good things. And unfortunately, that did not happen. Speaking of candidates, whether you're going to get another OC or you're trying to get someone that can help out with the offense, it's Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson was on Dan Silio's show and was saying that he's been offered some consultant jobs from other teams the last few years, not offered a job from the Philadelphia Eagles, but he said he would be gladly to help if they need him for it. Okay, he said, look, I won the first trophy in Philadelphia. I don't know any type of coach that wins a trophy for their city and then, comes back to the team as a consultant. I mean, that normally doesn't happen. He said, quote unquote, it's protocol that really doesn't happen. And it doesn't. Would it be weird, Doug coming back? Maybe. Could he make the offense better? Maybe. But at least do something. If you don't want to get rid of Patullo entirely and you want him to still kind of have that role as a passing game coordinator or whatever the fuck he's been doing the last few years, at least where's his strength that really helped us out? Maybe Doug could help Nick with the game plan. I have no idea. There's really no answer right now. The one thing Nick said right at his post-press conference after the game against the Giants on Thursday night, he said, we've been in this spot before. Okay, if you've been in this spot before and you know what we're talking about here, you know the changes you have to make. And unfortunately, there is nobody else on this team's coaching staff that could take over play calling. That's the shitty part about this entire situation. And no other coaches have been fired yet, so you can't replace Kevin Patullo. But on Monday morning, if I don't see Patullo taking any type of accountability at this press conference for the week, I'm telling you right now, all hell is going to break loose. From preseason to a few weeks into the regular season, Patullo has never, ever said anything about himself, that he has never blamed himself for 1% of anything that's going on. And that is a red flag for me. But if they lose that game against Minnesota next week, Justin Jefferson, Carson Wentz is going to put more salt in the wound. Okay, and it's just going to break Eagle fans at this point of how embarrassing it's going to be. They can't beat the Vikings. It is officially going to be over. You thought it was over now. It might be official pretty much next week. We've talked about this a million times. From the questionable moves from Howie Roseman this past offseason, from free agency to this draft that's not looking good right now, is really showing and exposing not only some of the bad moves we made or bad trades, but now exposing this OC for what he is. Nick taking his play calling back just because he won a damn Super Bowl, because now he ain't giving it up to nobody. And that's really fucking selfish of him. Other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. How do you feel about the defense? Do you think they checked out? Can Patullo and Sirianni fix this offense? Do they need to bring Doug Peterson in? Do they need to bring anybody in? Do they need to make a move this week, take advantage of the 10 days you realistically have off since the Thursday night game? You guys let me know how you're feeling. That's why we're here. This is uncensored, straight to everything content, because we don't mess around here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you cover the Eagles every single day. Make sure you hit the like button because it helps out tremendously. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes well, follow, slide, peacock, guys. Bye-bye.